I'm Kerry Grinkmeyer, a retired financial advisor, host of Best of Us Investors. I invest based on change, and change is facilitated by events that happen in our world. The biggest event in the last 80 years was World War II. Beyond that, more recently, the coronavirus. And more recently than that, the invasion of Russia invading Ukraine. This has created an opportunity, an event which is going to take one particular stock and rocket them into unusual returns. I want to share that stock with you because I think you deserve the right and have the opportunity to profit off of my knowledge. I'm Kerry Grinkmeyer with Best of Us Investors.
Best of Us Investors presents Kerry Grinkmeyer.
When major events occur, there are unintended and many times intended consequences. One of the unintended consequences of the coronavirus was the surge in the stock by the name of Zoom. Another surge was in a stock by the name of Peloton. Once the event is over, as in those two cases, the effects somewhat decrease. Well, we had another event on, it was February the 24th of 2022 when Russia invaded Ukraine. What was the effect? What was the company that benefited from that? I believe I've discovered the company that will benefit the most from the invasion of Ukraine. It is a company by the name of Cheniere Energy. It's a small company down in Louisiana that's in the natural gas business. In essence, what they do is freeze natural gas down to about 60 to 80 degrees below zero, and that's when natural gas turns into a liquid. They then take that liquid and pump it into tankers and then sell it around the world. They've been around for quite some time, but all of a sudden, there's people who want what they've got more than any time in the past. And if you recognize that, as I have, this is a stock you must own. There are four reasons why you must own this stock, and that is, number one, because it is in higher demand than there is supply. As a result of the invasion of Russia to Ukraine, there is a war of food, energy that is going to take place in our world. And Europe is in the position now that they are at the mercy of Vladimir Putin and Russia for the supply of their natural gas as we move into the winter. Vladimir has already turned the spigot off several times to let them know what he can do if he chooses to do it. As a result of that, there has been a surge of demand for LNG's gas. In fact, they have sold 70% of everything that they're going to be able to make in 2023 as we move into the winter. They even have a contract with China that they are currently negotiating to obligate or to supply China with natural gas through 2050. That's reason number one, the effects of the invasion of Russia on Ukraine. Effect number two is the earnings growth. Historically, Cheniere Energy grew at a rate of 62.4%. If you had listened to their second quarter call, you'd know they're anticipating a growth of 308% as they move into this coming year. That is compared to a 162% growth in the industry. So they are actually accelerating at a rate of almost 2 times or 2x faster than the rest of the industry. The next element of growth stocks is that of sales to assets, STA. Basically, what it is saying is based on the amount of assets, how much sales do you generate? Cheniere Energy generates 63 cents for every asset that they own. That is compared to 58 cents for the rest of the industry. So once again, what they're showing us is they are much more efficient than anybody else in the industry. If you also listen to the call, you'll find out they're taking these profits and they're eliminating any debt, and then we'll be buying back shares, which will once again put the investor, the asset holder, into a premier position. Their sales growth rate is projected to be 87%, compared to the rest of the industry is projecting sales growth of 42%. Again, because of their efficiency and because of their dominance in the industry. The fourth reason why this is a stock you must own is their projected earnings growth. They just, in that report that you need to listen to on Seeking Alpha, and I'll give you a link so that you can find it, they projected a surge of 19.6 in the past month of their future growth. So they had a projected growth. They increased it by almost 20%. So why is this a stock you need to own? Because of the unintended consequences, the unforeseen consequences of the invasion of Russia on Ukraine. Vladimir has already shown he is willing to freeze out Europe. As he freezes out Europe, it will become then difficult for Asia to get access to that gas as well, because the pipelines have to come through Europe for Asia, for China to go pick up their gas that they would have gotten from Russia. So as you can see, it's not only going to potentially affect Europe, it's going to affect Asia as well. This is going to take LNG to new levels. LNG was one of the top performing stocks from 2010 through 2020, and it looks like it's going to be one of the top performing stocks from 2023. Let me show you on my Moo chart where I want to buy this stock. This is my chart provided to me by Moo on my desktop. And as you can see that we've had a slight or a downturn in the price over the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. So we've got a trend going down. If I look at it and say, where will it possibly go? It looks like it has some resistance here between 147 and 150. So that's where I'm going to try to buy it. Okay, this is a big turn for Carrie. Carrie has been a long-term investor, says I'm not going to get involved in the day-to-day activity, but we have a situation right now where the day-to-day activity, namely interest rates and inflation, has basically slowed down the growth of my big tech stocks. So I'm liquidating my big tech stocks because I think they will go down further. Most of them are in my IRA, so I don't have any tax consequences of paying in capital gains. But I want to, number one, have the money on the sideline so that when they do turn around, and as I've shown you on my technical analysis, we can predict when the turnaround comes. I will buy back into them. But right now, you and I need to be buying Cheniere Energy. This is Peloton. This is Zoom as a result of Corona crisis. Do your due diligence. You see if you don't agree. Read the Seeking Alpha articles and come to my Discord and let's talk about this some more.